We ready to start?
Ready when you are.
A
Yay!
firm.
Cool. So the topic that we had talked about covering today was fursuits. Mm-hmm.
I know those.
Yeah. Yeah. So we all have a fursuit, right?
hmm
No.
No?
Yes.
Get on our
This is just
level.
how you look.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. Just
This is
handsomely
just how I
beautiful.
look naturally.
I
Yeah, you just woke up like that.
I like
Woke
your
up like this.
your cowlick. It's really cute. It's very defined.
Which one? Mine?
Yeah, yours.
Oh. I have no idea how she got it to like actually look like a faux hawk, but
It's really
it's pulled
cute.
it up.
I love it.
Yeah.
So
Who made your suit?
goes by Windwolf
Windwoof.
or Aspen Wind on Twitter. She's a local here in Utah.
Oh, cool. Love that.
That's rad.
She's a smaller not well known maker, but
Mm.
Still
Well,
beautiful.
it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. So we're all kind of speaking from the perspective of full suit havers.
Yes.
hmm
Yeah. So why don't we start with introductions? We'll start with the coyote. Tell us, your name, your species, and something interesting about yourself.
Okay, well, hi, I'm Enzo. I'm a coyote, Dorito ears, budget wolf,
Cute.
several nicknames I've gone by. Yeah, I live here in Utah right now. And something interesting about me. I guess I do play ice hockey. That's
That's cool.
Rad.
something
I don't know how to ice skate.
interesting.
Yeah.
I tried
Like,
and I fell so
like
many
big ice
times, and I
skater,
was
a
like,
little ice skater.
That's pretty cool. What's your favorite hockey team?
Oh, the Arizona Coyotes, obviously.
Woo woo.
of course.
Very cool.
It's required. But
Re- of course it is, because you're a
species.
coyote.
You gotta be loyal to your species.
Yeah,
Exactly.
love it. Cool.
Go Coyotes.
And then our next host, would you mind introducing yourself?
Not at all. Hello, my name is Nalu. I am a cat and a fish, so I'm a catfish. Let's see. An interesting thing about me. I'm sure people already know because of my different colored eyes, but I can't see out of my right eye. I'm half blind. Uh, yeah, lots of people have suits and designs where their character is half blind, but they themselves are not actually half blind. So, yeah, it's different.
Dig it.
Okay.
I'm Toon Wolf. I am a snow leopard wolf hybrid. And welcome to the podcast. Yay!
Wait, we need an interesting thing about you too.
I already welcomed everyone. So, no. um, something interesting about me. Mm,
It's difficult when you're on the spot, huh?
yeah, it is. It is difficult. Stop looking at me so deeply, Nalu. Ah! So, oh my
Nah.
god, Enzo too. Ah! um,
Just want to know something interesting.
something interesting about me is that I have been a part of building laboratories. I helped run one, and I built one completely by myself. So two different labs, yes, and that was cool.
Yeah.
Yay! Thank you. And we are gonna have our podcast today, and we will be talking about fursuits. Yay! Beautiful.
Yay.
And so to start, a really good question would be, uh, do you guys have fursuits, and do you have full suits?
Um, well, yes, I have one.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a full suit. It's a full digigrade suit.
Okay. Nalu, it's pretty obvious, but
I do have a suit, and I do have a full digigrade suit.
Hmm.
Uh, for those who don't know, there are lots of different kinds of bodysuits. There are three-fourths bodysuits. There are half bodysuits, like where it's just the legs. There are plantigrade, which is like just flat legs, like people legs. And then there's digigrade, which are like more animal-esque looking ones. So like it gives the illusion that you're actually like an animal that stood up from all four legs onto two legs. And that's the one that we have.
A very good explanation. Yes. I
Thank
also
you.
have a fursuit. It is a plantigrade suit, as Nalu said. It is straight legged. And I chose to have a plantigrade suit because I personally knew that I wanted to run around more, and I wanted the mobility. So that's why I got a plantigrade.
Yeah, the digigrade and the padding, or the padding and the digigrade suits make it a little bit harder to navigate and like your legs because they're so big.
Mm-hmm.
So plantigrades are definitely easier for mobility.
Mm-hmm.
I think digigrade suits that have the pad, like the makers that like sew the pads into them,
Mm-hmm.
are really nice because mine I have to like actually put the pads in and they'll like move and shift around. So
I have to do that too. When I put them in wrong, it looks kind of wonky because like your knees are facing in different directions.
Hmm.
So
yeah,
it
so
looks a little
anytime I'm
weird.
like trying to put on my suit or at a convention or something, it's like a half-hour affair of me trying to put these pads in my legs.
Uh huh.
Done, I'm
Downstairs.
already tired.
That's why it takes furries so long to come downstairs.
Yeah. It takes quite a while to get into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But it's super worth it.
Absolutely.
That kind of like makes me wonder like why why do you guys even like having your fursuits? Why did you want your fursuits?
Well, I joined the fandom through the Warrior Cats fandom, and I had like a Warrior Cat Sona, and I was like, man, it would be so rad to like be that cat and like run through the forest and act like a cat and stuff. So I found out about the furry fandom and that suits existed, and I was like, I was like floored, and I was like, I know I have to have one, and I knew that if I was gonna get one, I was gonna like go big or go home.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the full thing for my first suit, and I wanted it to be as animal like as I could without having like a quad suit. So the padding worked really well because it made me feel more like a cat, and I just like I feel more like a an animal than like a person in an animal suit with the padding on my if that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I just wanted to be an aminal and like something other than a human for a little bit, and I wanted to be as immersive as I could. So yeah, that's why I have mine.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got mine for kind of similar reasons. Had my I had my character for so many years before, I think since 2016.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I kind of got into it. And I got my suit in 2020, so it was 4 years later. But I think the biggest thing for me was more of a confidence booster, I guess, because I think it's harder to walk around just as yourself and be as eccentric and
Mm-hmm.
energetic and fun compared to when, at least for me, when I'm between out of suit and in suit, like they're completely different personalities.
I agree.
Same here.
Totally.
So
Yeah, absolutely. Both of
it's
you
just
go ahead.
it was just a better way to kind of express myself a little bit more. So
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Uh both of you guys really touched on how I feel about my suit. What's funny is I didn't really join the fandom until like 2017. Like I didn't start socializing, but back when I was in high school, I really wanted to make a quad suit because I saw the fursuits and I wanted to be the animal. But I was really young and I bought fur and I was like, I'm going to make a quad suit out of kitchen paper towel rolls. Yes. That's the biggest no. I know, guys. I know. I started saving up the paper towel rolls and I was going to duct tape them together and make leggies.
That's so cute.
Yeah, but that's
Towel
like
rolls, the most durable thing you could use.
the biggest fursuit making no.
I can just imagine like you putting your weight on one of the paper towel rolls and just going.
That's exactly what happened. And then I gave up on
It's
my
just like
dream.
it just
Oh!
exploding.
No, but I made it happen several years down the way. I wanted my fursuit because I wanted to embody my character the most that I could. And for the same reason that Enzo said, I knew that I would have more confidence in a suit to be myself than I would without the suit.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of seems like the general furry consensus is that fursuits give us confidence to be ourselves, and
Mm-hmm.
ourselves are the anthropomorphic embodiment of animals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So these fursuits are pretty important to us. People in the fandom really love them. You know, we have a fursuit parade pretty much every convention, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And a huge fursuit photo where like there's all the suitors in one place and you see all the different species and colors and stuff like that, and people love like scrolling through and looking at all the different creatures.
yeah, I love looking at all the colors in the fursuit photo.
Mm-hmm.
It's important for us to like also say like in the cast here that you don't need a fursuit to be a furry or participate in the fandom. It's just that people really like them.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like people that don't have fursuits often are kind of pushed to the side.
Yeah.
Even though like people don't like, I don't know. I feel like people don't mean to, but like people are just attracted to the suits. Like they see these big animals and they're like, oh wow, and they want to go and say hello. And then there's just like the people without the suits, and they often don't get the kind of attention that the suits do.
Yeah. It's like, move, I'm gay.
Right?
Which actually, that's a really good point, Nalu, because my next question was, you know, are furries who don't have fursuits, non-suitors, are they treated differently than fursuiters?
I feel like
Um,
a lot of us don't want to admit it, but yes, they are because
Yeah.
they don't have the flashy suits, so they don't get as much attention as the flashy suits do.
Yeah.
But like, if you really get to know the person as like as a person and befriend them, they're like it's the same
Mm-hmm.
if you have a suit or if you don't have a suit. Like they're still people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a person under the suit. Like it depends. Like people have amazing personalities underneath the suit. People have amazing personalities without having a suit. Like we're all still human beings,
Mm-hmm.
and like people without suits should be given a chance to be heard and to make friends.
Sure. Absolutely.
I heard all of that and I completely agree.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the suits are a form of art
Mm-hmm.
and in the fandom. It's a subculture. It's an art that people are able to wear and show off, which is
Mm-hmm.
completely different from the rest. So obviously, people are going to be really attracted to them a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, it's not just people without suits, but it's also partial suitors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, are treated the same way. They're a little bit more ignored to go up to the people with the full suits. So,
Yeah.
Right.
um, but yeah, I know I feel very fortunate that a lot of the people I've met that don't have suits or that didn't have suits are actually fantastic people,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
and I love them to death. They're my friends. They're my family.
Yeah.
Um, like I really try to take the time. I've become a little more extroverted, and I try to take the time to get to know people a lot more, regardless if they have a suit or not. I can't speak for everyone else, but
Mhm.
no, I agree. You can meet some really awesome people. It's some people just aren't able to afford one,
For sure, because they
and
are very expensive.
they're extremely expensive, especially now. So I get it kind of sucks to not have one and being around them all the time, but
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't make you any less of being a part of it. So
Right.
It's really interesting to kind of think about all of these things cuz we could just kind of switch the narrative in our own minds when we go out to meets and conventions, right? Meets are a little bit different because you meet locals and you have more in common. But when you go to conventions and there are people who are out of state, people come to see the furries and the fursuits, and yes, we are, like I would kind of call it like the furry zoo. Like we're just watching each other and we're observing. But I think it maybe used to be a little bit more about playing, and I feel like we've lost a little bit of our playfulness in the community because we get so focused on the suits and maybe how
yeah,
flashy they are that we forget,
Mm-hmm.
it's not about how much skin people are showing, although there is a fantasy to that. So there's kind of value in the sentiment of breaking the magic
Mm-hmm.
when we're poodling, but it's kind of on us when we go out to see, oh, there's this purple fox, and yeah, he's wearing short sleeves, but it's also like 97 degrees outside, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But like he's still a purple fox because that's who his animal persona is. So we need to realize that it's not about his suit or about his short sleeve shirt. It's about the purple fox, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Luckily, we have badges, or people without suits have badges that display their character very well. So there's like people just like need to use their imaginations a little bit.
Yeah, if you think about it, and I don't mean this in a hurtful way, but I imagine playing a fursuit playing with a person without a fursuit feels a little bit more strange than a fursuit playing with another fursuit because the fantasy is broken. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah, because then it's not like a place full of anthropomorphic creatures. It's
Yes,
like an anthropomorphic creature playing with
a human.
a human. Yeah.
But you know what? For me personally, if that human was wearing like just ears, like those little headbands with the ears on them,
Yeah, yeah.
that would
Mm-hmm.
bring the fantasy to life a little bit more. If they were wearing the ears and a tail that I could visibly see, oh, this person's, an animal too. Like, then that brings the
Mm-hmm.
fantasy to life for me.
Very true. Very true. Those
yeah.
are a lot more affordable.
Oh yeah, they are. They're much more affordable. So there's a way into like the fursuit play without having to buy a whole suit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just to kind of get the point across, like you don't need to. It's okay to like want one. I wanted one and to get one and everything, but it took me a while. It took me 4 years.
Me too.
So
Mm-hmm.
it takes a while to be able to afford that. It's not just I had the money and just blew it all. Like it's a lot of saving and actually wanting to have actually being able to invest in it.
Yeah. And
Um, but
Nalu
yeah, I
Nalu
will
took a
say,
while too.
Yeah, mine was like
yeah,
8 years.
yeah, they take a while to be made too.
Yeah.
So you gotta
You
wait
wait.
like another year, maybe more, just to even get it after you buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
But
I I
and
had I had saved money. I'd been saving money for a special occasion. So
Yeah.
it wasn't something that I was able to just whip out either. It was years of savings that I had stockpiled for such an occasion. So, yeah, there are people out there who I've met who are like, I want a fursuit, I want a fursuit, but then they're not saving for it because next week they bought like a really cool like RC car, or a drone. And it's kind of funny because I've met a person who they act jealous of your fursuit. Have we all met those people?
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, we've all met a person who acts jealous of our fursuits, but then the next week, they've bought something that is pretty pricey, or they spend their money on Funko Pops or something, or
Hmm.
anime figurines, and it's cool. You can spend your money on what you want to, but it's not cool to then come back and be like, I wish I could afford a fursuit.
Yeah. It's something you really have to commit to as far as saving money goes.
Yeah, back
People
pocket.
underestimate how expensive they are.
Yes. Yes.
everyone has more than one hobby. Like this isn't the only thing you do outside of real life. Like I said, I play hockey,
Hmm.
on the side as well on my time off, and that's really expensive to do.
Yep.
I'm
So
sure.
Yep.
like all the equipment I have is thousands of dollars. It's worth a suit.
Mhm.
Mm.
So like, it's just stuff you have to think about. Like if you want something, you gotta, commit to it, like Nalu said. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, like just do what you want,
Yeah.
save up for what you want, which hobbies you want to commit to. So
Mhm.
Hmm.
Totally.
like there's
And
no judgment.
yeah, and be kind to others. We have to be realistic about what our priorities were. Like I prioritized a fursuit, and that's okay.
Right.
And if you want to prioritize your hockey equipment, then that's okay too. We just respect each other.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it's different stuff. Like I kind of do the same. I've kind of caught myself doing the same thing. I'm like, oh, I want this, and but I also want that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't do both.
Yep. I
Like
feel
Gotta
at the
that.
pick and
same
choose.
time, I got to figure out which one I want right now. Which
Yes.
one am I going to utilize the most or be more satisfied
Right.
with?
Totally. I totally feel that. I want
So
to get into bushcraft more, but I've got different priorities right now with my investment. So, I mean, I'm
Hmm.
satisfied with window shopping on like Etsy. That's pretty fun. But like the priorities come into play.
Hmm.
but yeah, no, I understand kind of the jealousy, I guess that FOMO, the fear of missing out. But
Totally.
Right.
at the end of the day, it's kind of what you want to put your effort into.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
That's extremely valid. Totally. Like FOMO is like the biggest disease in our social interactions these days. Like
Hmm.
knowing that your
yeah,
friends went out without you, and maybe that you were not included, and not having a fursuit and wanting to play with the fursuiters. It totally makes sense. FOMO is like huge. But, what
yeah, and I guess to kind of go back on the people that don't have suits, it's kind of also on us to maybe approach these people a little bit more. Kind of introduce
Yeah.
ourselves. Really,
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
I
yeah,
was
that's
gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
something I think about really is because we're dressed up. Like, yeah, we have trouble seeing, but we're kind of in our zone,
Yeah.
being dressed up as a big animal.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of us kind of get into that mindset of, oh, people are going to come to me,
Yeah.
when
Right. Right.
Totally.
that's not always
And then we
true.
start
Maybe it's
looking for other pursuits to interact with. You
Yeah.
know.
yeah,
Yes.
or just random people. Like it happens at conventions all the time. You'll just see people sitting or groups of people sitting on benches or standing around the hallway. A lot of the time you can just walk up and just
Yes.
start hanging out with them. I guess
Yeah,
Hmm.
totally. That
so.
totally makes
Yeah,
sense.
that responsibility is kind of on us as well to kind of be a little more inclusive.
For
I agree
sure.
with that. I totally agree with
So
that. Why do you guys think that that fursuits may not approach non-fursuiters as much?
I think it's just the mindset you kind of get into. I know different people say, well, kind of different people have different mentalities of what happens, but notice a lot of them kind of put the suit on and they've got like one mission to like go here or there or go find these specific people,
Hmm.
Yeah.
or maybe they're going with a photographer to go take pictures here or whatever, and kind of everything else is just like off to the side
Right. Right.
kind
Yeah.
of thing. And I don't I don't want to say it, but I think with some people it's kind of an, oh, people could just approach me.
Yeah.
Like, why do I have to go up to people?
Right. Right.
That is a real feeling. That is honest. And it's cool to like be able to call it out so that, and like you said, like it's on us to like notice that within ourselves and reach out to other people more and be more inclusive.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, you never know. You could meet some awesome people, become friends with some really awesome people if
totally.
Hmm.
maybe you kind of take more of the responsibility instead of just
Yeah.
no. People can just
It's
walk
really
up
good
to
to be
me.
aware of that feeling and
Yeah,
to address it. Because a
totally.
lot of people,
Yeah.
like, I'm sure they have had that feeling, but they don't really choose to do anything about it.
Yeah,
It would be very responsible of us to lead by example.
I agree. I agree. Uh, like on the subject
Yes.
of kind of talking about like why a fursuiter might not approach non fursuiters or someone without a fursuit, I guess. I know some furries who have really nice suits, but they're kind of arrogant, and
Hmm.
it's the truth. I don't. I haven't seen any of you guys be arrogant. Nalu, I know that you have really terrible vision in your suit, and I know that when I have suited with you, I've tapped you on the shoulder to let you know that someone wanted to say hi, and
Yeah, I
it's
always feel so bad because like I said, I can't see out of this eye.
yeah,
So that's just this eye,
yes,
and then it's a super limited field of vision, like here. Like
yeah,
this is all I got.
yeah,
So, uh, I always feel so bad like when people are trying to get my attention or whatever, and I don't see them. Like it's not because I'm like ignoring you or like turning my nose up at you or whatever. I swear, it's just it's the
Nalu
vision,
can't
and
see.
I think that probably goes for a lot of people too, especially with realistic fursuits who only have the tear duct vision.
Yeah,
Like it has to be so hard to like see people and interact with people effectively and stuff like that.
that
But
definitely should not be used as an excuse, though. For you personally, you have a disability that is
mhm.
real. Like, yeah, there are fursuits that have, scars over their eyes, but the person on the
Uh-huh.
inside is not necessarily physically impaired.
Right.
They may have something that relates to a personal story or trauma, and that is
Sure.
reflected in their persona, and that's valid. However,
Mhm.
if they're fully sighted, it's not an excuse to say
Of
my
course.
vision's
Of
bad.
course.
Of course,
Yeah.
this fursuit's probably like, covers that eye, but still.
Mhm.
So I thought that was really important to bring up with your true impairment.
It can very easily be used as an excuse, but it's not.
Yeah.
For people who have full sight, it's not.
No, yeah, not an excuse.
Darn it. I said, darn it.
Ah, darn
There goes my excuses.
it. Yeah, but I've known like fursuiters to actually like ignore other fursuiters too because sometimes someone has a secret suit. Um I don't know, like I guess if you have a secret suit, I mean, good luck keeping it a secret,
Yeah.
especially if you get a flashy one.
Right. With social media.
Yeah, with social media. Furries, we love pictures. So, I mean, if you have a secret suit and you get any pictures with anyone who's not in a suit or a suit that's recognizable, you'll be found out, no doubt.
Oh yeah, people are like looking and they like analyze every little thing about the picture.
Absolutely. And that's not just a furry thing. People have the internet can dox people who are, normies. They dox each other. And I'm not
Mhm.
saying
Mhm.
that that's what furries are doing. I'm just saying that,
Yeah.
everyone loves a good mystery. Everyone loves solving a good
Mhm.
mystery.
Yeah,
So,
it just happens.
if you want to
No matter
stay a
what fandom
secret,
you're in.
oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, if you want to stay a secret, then don't get pictures with your friends.
Mhm.
Was there any more that you guys wanted to say on that topic?
Um, I think I kind of had a point I just thought of to add on to like us as suitors taking more responsibility in
Love it.
approaching people
Yeah.
Mhm.
is kind of from the mindset of someone because I don't wear my suit a whole lot. It I have to really be in the mood, or there has to be something going on that I specifically want to wear it. But other than that, I'll just kind of just walk around,
Yeah.
and it's kind of hard to tell the body language of someone in a suit because you can't see their face, so you can't read their expression or anything like that. Like
Yeah.
you don't know if we're in a hurry to go somewhere or if we're just walking around having a good time. So
Mhm.
yeah, no, it's hard to tell, and it kind of deters people from wanting to go up and say hi.
Yeah.
True.
Just as someone that
Also,
has
you're
been
a
through
big
that.
giant animal. That's kind of intimidating to people who are not also big giant animals.
Yeah, no, and that's just my mentality of someone that's been to conventions or whatever, and I want to go talk to this person, and they're wearing a suit, and I'm like, oh, they're probably. Then I immediately deter myself. I'm like, oh, they're probably busy. They're doing something. Like
Mm.
they don't want to bother with talking to anybody or saying hello. They're doing their own thing, and then. But yeah, so
Right. So
just something else I
seeing
wanted
them
to
go up and talk to
bring.
other people who are not in suit would encourage you to go up and say hello.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
exactly.
worth taking a risk sometimes, but it totally makes sense for people like to be shy. Like me
Mhm.
personally, I was in a sales job for a while, so I got hit with a lot of rejection. So when, someone in the furry fandom doesn't want to talk to me and they actively like reject me and my social interaction, it's easier for me to brush it off personally. But
Mhm.
that takes a really tough skin. So it makes sense that, people who are more shy or more sensitive would have a hard time taking a risk to say hello to
Right.
a fursuit that they think is really cool because when they don't talk to you, it feels like you're being rejected.
Right. And that hurts.
Yeah, it does. It does hurt. And sadly, it can ruin your day.
Mhm.
So when you're at a con, it makes sense that you wouldn't want to risk it. But
For
I guess
sure.
if I had advice for that person who's afraid to take a risk, I would say no risk, no reward. And, on the flip side, if someone does decide to reject you and be rude and not just say hello, that's on them. And that's about them not being kind,
Mhm.
unfortunately. So I guess advice to fursuiters is if you get a tap on the shoulder, even if you're in your secret suit, just say hello.
Yeah.
Just say hi. And if you don't want to talk, just say, I'm sorry, I'm busy. And go to the fursuit lounge.
For sure. It's much kinder than just ignoring or brushing off.
Yeah.
Be good people.
Be good
Yeah.
people.
Be
Lead
good
with
people.
kindness. I just want to fix my tongue real quickly because, all right,
The dark abyss of my hallway.
I'm waiting for like little beams of light to like pop out and be like little eyes, like.
And now you're scaring me. I'm gonna close the door.
Like glowy red eyes in the dark.
You're scaring me. I'm closing the door now.
I'm
I live
sorry.
alone, too.
I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Boogity boogity boo.
Ooga booga booga.
Ah!
That's actually kind of off topic. I don't know why I'm that way, but like every time I move to a new place, I'm like, I don't know why, I'm just scared. I guess. Well, not
Totally.
really scared. I'm just like
You should
more
cleanse
alert,
it
I guess.
with sage.
Because I just moved here.
Yeah.
I live on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's going on? What's
You
going on here? What
think
was
you
that
live
noise?
on your own.
Don't say that,
Shut up.
dude.
There could be something in your
Don't say anything.
closet. Maybe you're sharing something in your fridge right now.
Either thought, but there's that video of a guy that has like a camera in his kitchen, and there's like, this person that's been living in a crawl space,
Oh my god.
like
There's
for
a horror
like
movie
21
about
years now.
that.
I read a
But yeah, no, I
creepy
just moved
pasta
here.
about
So good.
that too. Like this girl, she was getting airdropped messages to her phone of her sleeping every night. Every night.
Ew.
Ew.
And then one night there was a picture of the guy. He took a selfie next to her sleeping. And she was
No.
freaking out. And then she realized he was in the crawl space above her in her house for months.
Oh no.
So yeah, now my door's closed to avoid any surprises.
Good job.
Hide
No.
under a blanket. You'll be safe there.
Yeah.
Actually, the first like few times I took a shower here when I first moved in, I was like, I'd sit there like clean myself, and be like
Yeah.
keep going, just what's going on?
Yeah, like when you're doing your shampoo and you're scared there's like a demon in the shower with you, you get shampoo in your eyes.
And then like turn, I close my eyes and I like wash my hair, and then I'll just like punch the shower curtain
Yeah.
just to make sure.
Yeah, no stabbers. Bah, bah, bah.
You're safe now.
Yeah.
All right, shall we move on to our the final topic I have?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay. So, fursuits are like such a huge part of furry culture. And another huge part of furry culture is the safe for work, not safe for work stuff that happens within the fandom because we're adults. This is an adult podcast. Adult things happen in this fandom. It's real. So, there are some people who do have fursuits for NSFW stuff. And we know that they're called mersuits. Yeah? Isn't that what they're called?
Mhm.
People
Mhm.
people do the yiffin in the mersuits.
People be doing
Nalu's mad at
premarital
me.
shenanigans.
Nalu's really disappointed in me.
I'm not disappointed in you.
Okay.
How do you know what they're called, huh?
Don't worry.
But where are you guys in like the truth of how fursuits relate and how important they are to our NSFW culture? Where do you stand on that?
So obviously I have to agree that, it is a part of the fandom of the culture. That's the truth of it. There's adults. Adults will do adult things. And that goes with anything, really. Anything that has a subculture, it's gonna be involved.
Agreed.
Mhm.
So I feel like a lot of that, not safe for work, kind of naughty stuff gets a lot of the limelight
Yeah.
and probably more than it needs to be, but
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I mean, my opinion on the whole thing is, adults are adults as long as it's consensual, it's safe, do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna I'm not gonna bother anybody about, if they're wearing a fursuit or what kind of
Mhm.
stuff they're doing that I'm not into. Like if it's not my cup of tea, it's not my cup of tea. I'm not gonna
Right.
drink it.
Right.
Mhm.
That's their thing. And I know a lot of people get uptight about it, but I'm like just
Yeah.
like who cares?
Mhm. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like, as long as they're respectful and they're not like doing anything appropriate or inappropriate to me or my friends or whatever, like, is like if they can do whatever they want in the comfort of their hotel room.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not judging at all.
Yeah.
I think whatever they're into is great. Uh, just as long as they are consensual and appropriate in a public space.
Right. It's so funny to think about that how we as furries, we don't care if our furry friends are doing not safe for work stuff in their fursuits, but it's kind of crazy how obsessed normies are with that.
Uh-huh.
think
It's so different from their norm. Like their norm is probably just, just vanilla stuff, whatever. But there's this whole community of kink on this other side here. And it's just like it's two different sides of the spectrum. And normies are really like they don't like things that are different. They don't like things that are that make them that make them uncomfortable or make their eyes widen. It's not very fair. Like they're not very open minded about it, and like it's like I said, it's not bothering them. It's not bothering me. So like they can do whatever they want. Like as long as it's not hurting anybody, it's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like that, like I guess what like the sex and all that stuff gets a lot of the attention is because here in the United States and I think North America, um, sex is kind of seen as like this no thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm,
you're not supposed to know about it, or it's like no one's supposed to see it or whatever. And then when something comes out about it, it's a whole big deal. Um, I don't know how. I know a lot like most places in Europe are they're a little more kind of lenient on it. Like they don't really care as much, but
mm,
here it's a huge like no. Like don't talk about it, don't look at it, don't show it, don't
Yes.
whatever.
mm-hmm.
But I feel like furries especially can be a little more open about it,
Yeah.
whether
Yeah.
it's just a little bit or there's people we see them that are just they're all open, they're completely open about it. I
For
think
a lot of different things in American culture. It's all supposed to be very proper, and the furry community is kind of like not that. So people are like, "Whoa, this person's not straight. This person has a different gender identity than boy or girl." It just makes them uncomfortable because it's so different. So like seeing something so weird that like changes their worldview, it's like it's jarring for them, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
it is. And I kind of see it here because I live and grew up in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows Utah, good old Utah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about what it is. It's just the way people grow up is a lot of people grow up and they live so sheltered in their own little bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
And anything outside of that is uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and they don't want to see it. And we talk about like not caring what people do
Mm-hmm.
as long as it's not affecting us. But I
Yeah.
guess with a lot of people, especially of older generations, um, they kind of feel like they have to say you can't do that or whatever, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we're not keeping our fursuits private anymore. We're in public. We're having fursuit parades. We're having conventions. We do YouTube videos. You know, that that speaks to what you're saying. The fact that we don't hide it anymore and we don't feel the need to or want
Mm-hmm.
to, because we paid a lot of
Yeah,
money for
it's
our fursuits, so we're gonna show them off.
Mm-hmm.
this is a subculture, a fandom that's definitely gaining a little bit more social
Mm-hmm.
traction. I guess it's definitely out a little bit more. People aren't afraid to express themselves, which is awesome. Um,
Yes. Yes.
I I mean that's just me. Everyone should feel obligated and safe to express themselves any way possible. Don't hide it. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it is out there a little bit more.
Yes. That, yeah, the self expression part really speaks a lot to generational differences. Generational difference of being polite and not talking about private matters in public, and people viewing this as being a private matter. But because furries, we love getting our pictures taken, and we love being on social media, and we love being seen, and we love being silly in public. It's foreign to that different mentality of keep it to yourself, or don't do it in front of my kids kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I I feel like furries is kind of on the same kind of upward traction as other subcultures and fandoms. Like I feel like I remember growing up as a kid at least, I remember hearing about, comic book conventions and how it's weird and how it's adults that go there are really weird and creepy and they're all
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
nerdy and whatnot.
Yes.
And it's kind of got a little bit more, it's kind of become a little bit more acceptable. People that are into anime and anime conventions
Mm-hmm.
have gone through it,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
it's our turn. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is our
So
turn.
Yeah.
I do think there's one touchy part of this topic that we haven't touched on yet. It's the fact that, we dress as animals and we do NSFW stuff in some people do in their suits. So
Mm-hmm.
in
okay.
someone who's looking from the outside inward, the morbid curiosity kicks in like, do you do that to animals? And the answer is no. We don't.
No, people that are found out that
Yeah.
do that sort of thing are like excommunicated from the
Excommunicated. We
community.
excommunicate those people.
Obviously, if it's a crime,
It's a
no.
crime, yeah.
Yeah, it's a crime.
Animals have rights actually. Animals
Yeah, they do.
there's an Animal Rights Act that was enacted in 1881 where animals have the right to safety, food, and protection. So it's illegal to do that to animals. And people like us who love animals so much that our, dream or fantasy is to embody them, and we pay so much money to look like them, we hate people who hurt animals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and especially furry conventions,
Yeah.
I think most, if not all of them, donate to
Charities.
like animal shelters or
Yeah.
animal charities
Yes.
or or animal rescues or anything that involves animals
Mm-hmm.
that helps in a positive way. They
Yes.
donate money to.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a
So
lost artifact about furry conventions, and so because time moves on and generations go through this, but I'm pretty sure every single furry convention, and if there's one that isn't, let us know in the comments, but every single furry convention is for charity. That's why we get together. That's the main reason that we have conventions, is we are charities for local animal rescues, hospitals, or animal related other, charity businesses that take care of the animals we love. Like,
and I love I love like the relationships between the charities and the conventions themselves.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because here in my here at Anthro Weekend Utah, my local convention, they come every single year. They'll do an animal show. They'll take
Nice.
an hour slot and they'll bring out like reptiles, birds,
Nice.
animals, and kind of do an animal show. And it's really fun. And then
Mm-hmm.
they'll have a little stand somewhere where you can see
Yeah.
Some
And
donate to big cat sanctuaries. Some donate to herpetology societies. There's so many different charities out there that furry conventions donate to, and it's beautiful.
yeah, on the herpetological society, no, it's herpetology, the herpetological society, I think. But
those ologies are hard.
yeah, they are. Yeah, but it's the it's the reptile sanctuary here
Yeah.
in Phoenix. The folks who run that charity loved the con so much that they decided that they wanted to keep coming back, and they wanted to keep staffing for the convention because they loved, what the furries did and how accepting we are, and fun, we have fun at conventions. Furries are fun. That's why that's why we love ourselves and each other so much, because we're fun.
Mm-hmm.
Say I'd rather hang out with furries than like
Yeah.
what you consider normal people.
I mean, the normies ask me if I do the do in my suit. I don't appreciate that. And,
Yeah.
other furries, we just wear our suits and we hang out. Like, Enzo just came to
Right.
visit last weekend, and it was so much fun. Like, we went on a road
Mm-hmm.
trip. We We hiked.
Yeah.
You know, we do what everyone does, but like we have a connection of being furries, and we already know that we have an obscure hobby, so it's like we're more likely to be accepting of things that each one of us says, you know, that might be obscure.
Hmm. Yeah,
So you
and
feel
everybody
safe.
else's differences as well, like other than just being in a weird hobby.
Yeah. Once you like break the seal for friendship and you forge those bonds, you know, you can really I really trust you guys cuz you've seen
Yeah, right back
probably
at you.
some of the weirdest parts of me, you know? So
Hmm.
that's trust.
Hmm.
I kind of build off that. Kind of making friends normally is already difficult because
Yeah.
you have to try and find something in common with this person,
Totally.
and that's difficult. Like
Mhm.
you talk if you go to a bar and just talk to someone like, "Oh, I like this. Oh, I don't like that. Never mind.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you."
Nah.
Yeah. They could just drop
But I
you
feel
and it's
like with
hard.
yeah,
Hmm.
but I feel like with furries is you already have a hobby. You already have that in common.
Yeah.
So you already have a
Right.
shared connection,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
then yeah, you build friendships off that, and then you learn what each other like to do. It's like, oh, I don't
Hmm.
like, oh, that's cool, or
Mhm.
Like to be in the furry community, you have like a certain personality, and you probably share a lot of those traits with a lot of other people in the community.
Yep.
and I feel like you'd be more willing to like learn about what other people's hobbies are. You
Hmm.
already have that shared interest. You made a friendship. You start really talking to this person, become friends. Like, oh, I like this.
Yep.
Oh, I
Mhm.
mean, I haven't really been into that, but I'll hear you talk about it or whatever.
One thing that I hear
But
consistently about you know what people love about this fandom is just how open and accepting we are.
Yeah.
So that means the
yeah,
folks who are standoffish in your fursuits and you don't want to say hi to people without fursuits, stop that. You make us look bad.
Yeah. Be open and accepting.
Let's keep a kindness in our fandom.
everyone out there, be yourself. Really, be yourself. Don't be afraid to express it, whether you have a suit or not. No matter what, just go out, meet people, express yourself.
Yes.
You never know. You'll meet amazing people, and
Hmm.
you'll meet probably some of the best friends you'll have for the rest of your life. Because
Absolutely.
I can speak for myself. I've met some of the best people, and I
Aw.
consider them family now.
Hmm.
Like Tuna Nalu, I just met in person. I met you two in person
And that was
just last
lovely.
weekend. But
I
you guys
so
are
enjoyed
awesome. I
that. It was
That
consider
was
you
awesome.
guys my family.
yeah. I miss you. When I got home, I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, Enzo's going home.
I know. I
Hmm.
got home
Me
and I'm like, I
too.
got really sad. I'm like, I
I
don't want to
know.
leave.
I know. Like
Yeah.
we felt it too. I was like, when we were
Hmm.
driving away, I kept hitting my brake lights, like, I'm saying goodbye.
I saw that,
Good.
but yeah, you'll meet awesome people, and they'll be friends for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
you
Totally.
know, just yeah, as you said, no risk, no reward.
Yeah.
Take that risk, go out,
Mhm.
Hmm.
express yourself in the way that you know how, and
Yeah.
everything will fall.
Yeah.
Mhm. Totally. And yeah, you never know what kind of wonderful people you'll meet if you just say
Hmm.
hi and choose to be
Yeah.
kind
Take that leap of faith.
or choose to be brave. Because yeah, like Enzo said, you could meet some of the best friends that you've ever had.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, my local group here, I met throughout the years. I've known him for years now,
Mhm.
and I consider my best friend, and I'm gonna name him. So hopefully he sees this. Ben Lusky.
Aw.
Probably I'd say he's one of my best friends, and he asked me to be his best man at his wedding.
Whoa.
So
That's
Aw.
awesome. Yeah, you talked a lot
yeah,
about Ben Wesky while you were here. Nothing but wonderful things to
Hmm.
say. Just kidding. He told
I
Absolutely.
love
us
him to
all of
death.
your secrets, Ben. Ben Wesky.
I love him to
Yeah.
death. You guys love him. So Ben Lusky, if you're seeing this, you're freaking awesome, dude. Love you to death.
Aw.
Thank you, Nalu Catfish and Enzo Coyote, for joining me today on the second episode of this podcast. And I think everyone should know that Enzo and Nalu are going to be on
Hmm.
the podcast.
Yay! Yeah,
Yay!
this is really cool. I'd love to do this consistently.
Do either of you have any social medias that you want people to find you on?
Yes, you can find me at Enzo Coyote on Twitter, Keyyote.
With a
I know I
K?
spell it weird, but yeah, at Enzo Coyote is my Twitter. That is also my TikTok if you want to go there. So
I like your
yeah,
TikToks. They're cute.
I was waiting to kind of get settled in to start doing more, so I'm gonna start doing more here
Yeah,
pretty
they're really
soon.
cute. Keep doing your puns. I love those.
Yeah. You can find me pretty much everywhere at Nalu Catfish, Nalu Catfish. I do art. I'm gonna make more videos. I'm open for commissions. So yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
let me get my wallet.
And you can find me here on YouTube at Toon Wolf. So thanks everyone for joining our second podcast on this channel, and we'll see you next time.